Hello, my name is David Berczes. I'm from Hungary. I'm a senior. I'm majoring in finance and I'm a grandmaster.
All right, hello everyone. I'm David Berczes from Hungary. I'm a GM who retired a few years ago, but I'm going to present a very nice and very interesting game which I played in the UTD Spring Break Open. It was spring break, so it was fun. So I played against Jeffrey Xiong, who is 2609, and now he's 2660. He just won the World Under 20 Championship. So it was a tough game, and before that I lost 2 games, and I had to face with the highest rated opponent. So I had basically like nothing to lose, and I tried to play creatively and come up with an interesting opening. So and he usually plays lately the Grunfeld, so I try to trick him with the move. What the hell? Knight f3. Sorry. All right. So he plays c5, c4. He usually also plays knight f6 and g6, but he tried c5, c4, knight f6, knight c3. This is normal, and d5. Usually, Grunfeld players try to play d5 and then takes a knight and play g6 and try somehow get to Grunfeld. I kind of prepared for that because he had some games for this line, and I wanted to try something very new. I played e4, so it's kind of like a Scandinavian Sashnikov looking position, but then the pawn should be on e5 and knight on c6 reversed. So with knight b4, bishop c4, that's the trick. And now I'm not afraid of knight d3 checks, because then I just play king e2, and okay, I won't be able to castle anymore, but at least I get some extra tempi and I can develop easily. Now, okay, black has no choice, otherwise I just play d3 and a3, and this knight is going to misplace. So he went for it, knight d3, king e2. And now he gave me another check. And the other move is knight takes c1, but then I take with the rook and d4, and I'm okay. So knight f4, king f1. And he played this very ugly knight e6. I mean, this is like main move. There have been only like, I don't know, max 30 games for this. Other move is knight e3. This is a good suggestion for people who want to make quick draws, knight f4. So, but this was just a side note. Okay, so the main move is knight e6. And here, of course, normal move would be this, d3. But here I wanted to try something very unique, and I played b4. There was only one game after this. It was, I think, Aronyan just beat Topalov. Yeah, like a few months before this. He played knight d5. He tried this. This was the first time he tried. Other move is knight e2, and then d4, the same idea, but the knight on d5 looks a bit more active and more annoying from black's perspective. So I decided to try this. I prepared maybe for like 2-3 minutes, and I really liked it. It's pretty double-edged, and I want to try to play for a win, not for a draw, even though I would have won 2 rating points. Okay, so he played g6, which is, of course, on the knight on e6. G6 is the only way to develop his bishop. Otherwise, I mean, he should play knight c7, but that's, I just maybe can just pick up the pawn on b4. So he played g6. We are basically following the game Topalov, Aronyan. Bishop e3, the standard moves, rook c1. Very useful move. It's in the long run, it might be, I don't know, beneficial. Okay. He played bishop d7, h4. So the game followed between Topalov and Aronyan with queen d2, a5, and now white played h4, and black played h6. But if you play h5, you can basically transpose. So there is not a huge difference. So I went h4, h5, queen d2. So far, normal moves, nothing surprising happened. But now my opponent surprised me. So, I mean, there are basically 2 options, a5 and queen a2. Queen a5, excuse me. And a5 would be the logical way, and he played queen a5, which seems also logical because he wants to finish up his development, bring the rook to d8, and maybe somehow get some counterplay. Because after a5, it kind of weakens the b5 square. So it's also against kind of positional principles. But I think a5 was just better. And then white's plan is to just play g3 and castle king g2 and then bring the rook to d1 and maybe to play queen d3 a3 or it's just positional compensation is nothing serious, but I think it's slightly more convenient to play for white in my opinion. But he went queen a5, which is logical. He's also a very active player, so of course he didn't want to suffer after a5 because then he cannot remove his queen anymore. So I played g3, nothing special. Rook d8. I expected maybe long castle, but that would have been too wild. So he played rook d8, king g2. Now he played b3. Okay, this is an interesting position because he played this b3 was super surprising. I think he spent maybe 30 minutes on this move. So the point is, if he castles, so what could be a potential downside of this move? I beg your pardon?
Bishop e3.
Bishop b3. With the idea of what?
Not allowing b3.
G4.
Yeah, that's more. Sorry?
G4.
Yeah, that's an option.
It's okay.
But he just takes.
Computer always says it's the best move.
Knight g5 he takes on d4. But I saw the move here.
Bishop h6.
Sorry?
Bishop h6.
That's an option as well. It makes a lot of sense, but I have a way so I can force.
Maybe a3.
Yeah.
Oh my god, yeah. Perfect. So yeah, there's a3. So that's the problem. If he takes to the queen, just for some players here, then maybe I can play rook a1, and now the black queen has a hard time, right, to escape. And if he takes with the pawn, then I can just take e7. Huge tactic. I know it's huge. King h8, and then just take here, and that's the point. I mean, it requires a little bit of calculation, not too much. So if he takes then d5, let's take with this, and then bishop b4, and I think it's maybe then d5, and I think white is just better here. So even though I'm pawn down, but his pawn structure is not really nice. So maybe he saw that and he didn't find any other way. But b3. So that's why queen a5 was pretty bad move. I mean, he played these moves fast because they are logical, but okay, now when you have to take your time, you realize this is just really misplaced on a5. And also it runs into this a3 threat. So he played b3, which made a little bit of sense because he wants to give back the pawn, but at least in return he's gonna trade off the queens, and then okay, without the queens, it's okay. I mean, it's playable. Some endgame. It's okay. So okay, but I wanted to keep the queens because I want to win, and I wanted to checkmate him, even though he's higher rated. So I played queen d3. Yeah, it was an interesting. Yeah, I spent a little bit of time on this, obviously. And no, because I had 15 minutes before this. So the max I could spend was 49 minutes and 59 seconds. So now, of course, he has so many options. He can take on a2 with the queen. He can take with the pawn. He can play b2, or he can just leave the pawn on b3. But okay, if I manage to take with the pawn and keep the queens, then obviously just looking fantastic for white, right? So he played rook b8. A huge surprise, right? I mean, if he takes with the pawn, then I have, again, a couple of options. I kind of forgot what I calculated because it was a few months ago, so sorry about that. So now I have rook a1. Maybe that seems the most logical, right? And now his queens seem to be trapped, right? So he has to go probably rook a8, and maybe I take, and I queen d8. Maybe rook b1, and I don't know. Maybe something, right? And I move my knight. Okay, not now, because knight d4 is always a problem. But it's just a normal Grunfeld-looking position where I'm a pawn down, but black has his 2 pawns here. It's pretty tough to push
Or
them,
on
right?
b6.
Sorry?
On b6.
Yeah. Okay, so, but I still believe that he should have gone for that, other than just giving back the pawn, and then at least he's a pawn up now, right? Even though his position is pretty ugly.
Why you play bishop d2 there? And you taking the queen?
Here? Yeah, I think I thought of this move too. But then, queen a4. And now the point is that maybe after bishop b5, there's this trick with knight b4, or knight e5 maybe.
Knight d5, that's the move.
Right.
I saw that.
Yeah, I know, that's how you ask it.
Okay, but you have draw bishop b3.
And now bishop b3, yeah, maybe then queen a3 or something, and then knight c7. I was looking at all these kind of tactics, and then he has like maybe knight c7, right? It's tricky, but then king f8, and I don't know.
Knight b5,
Yeah,
and bishop c4 offering draw.
and then queen b6.
Ah.
He made a tricky triangle, or I don't know.
Maybe just, maybe taking d5.
Yeah, but then always, now this pawn is annoying, right? It's like also typical Grunfeld. Sometimes this a pawn advances to a2 and it's getting annoying, right? So, but yeah, I mean, probably he should have taken. I mean, taking with the queen, that just looks bad. But like, what he did, rook b8, was, I didn't want to believe my eyes here. So, I just pick out that pawn. Now, okay, this is really looking just good for me. Now he castled. And now I have a few options, but I couldn't resist my next move. What is it?
g4.
Yeah, my roommate is strong. Yeah, I play g4. The engine suggests, and I think after this game, like when I went to the press conference or postmortem, whatever, like the player who helped us, he suggested me that he was like questioning like, how could you define rook takes c6, which is of course the computer's first suggestion. I don't know, name the guy, but yeah. Yeah, I honestly didn't even consider this move, right? It's not looking logical because it takes knight e7 and king h8, and then my knight seems to be trapped right on e7. I just gave. No, but rook c1
Why not take on e6?
was the move. Sorry?
You can take on e6.
Oh, sorry, he can just play king h7.
Yeah, still. So many pawns.
Yeah, queen b5.
Take it.
Yeah, but
In d5. First take it, then think. Now take.
Take in d5, what? You
Take in
you're winning.
d5.
yeah, I mean,
Oh my god, I'm so good. Oh my god.
it's looking good. But what engine suggests, and also the person suggested me because of this, was rook c1. And he was really surprised why I didn't find this.
Very human.
Yeah, I mean, I agree on that one. I told him the same. So, but I didn't want to give up material because I felt like, why to take risk, right? And it's unnecessary. So, and how am I going to? Yeah, I mean, g4 looks super logical. Come on, like he castled, my rook is still on h1. You know, I want to benefit from this. So, and his queen is on a5. So now it's lost time. That's what I thought.
Yeah, of
So
course
g4.
it's time because you had 20 seconds here.
Yeah, exactly. Unfortunately, I was forced to move, right? So now he took, and now g5. And now, of course, my threat is to play h5 and just checkmate this super strong, talented guy. So he took, and now I took with the bishop, of course, because I want to keep the option of playing h5.
What about taking on c6 instead?
Excuse me?
Any way it works? Rook
Clear?
C6? Rook
Yeah.
c6?
Oh, here. Oh, okay. Very creative player. Wow. Yeah. Yeah.
What was this? Knight e4.
Can I take? Yeah, that's what I was
Yeah, now
wondering.
knight e7.
What 97 is lost now?
And then maybe
H5. H5, do it.
Oh, did you
Oh
see?
my god.
And now maybe h6. Huh?
Maybe g4?
Knight g6.
Knight g6. Yeah.
Oh, you did not just do that. Draw. What the heck?
Yeah.
So what the guy
Maybe take queen takes e4 first.
I saw this. I didn't want to make a draw. I
No, but
I want to
take,
check.
take on
h6.
e4.
H6
Oh, okay.
wants to play 7 mid. What's he gonna do?
Oh,
Okay.
roaming. You didn't see this one.
Yeah, rook c6. Yeah, honestly, I didn't even. I recaptured the bishop offhand, you know, because that's how it's calculated. So. But again, rook takes c6 requires some calculation, and you know,
You want to play safe, huh?
I'm risk
G4.
averse. I was
So
risk
G4, you want to
averse.
play safe.
Yeah, too much risk, you know. So, and since we played in a team because we played against kids, I didn't risk, you know, because we might lose the match. So. Okay, so I took with the bishop, and I played bishop e6. I mean, I thought I was totally winning here. So, yeah, played bishop e6. Now h5. He took my pretty knight there. Took with the pawn because if he takes, and if I take with the bishop, the knight b4 was his creative idea, and I take, then just take it, and there's nothing probably. So now it was time to
play it safe.
yeah, safe. You know. Yeah. I have two bishops, especially
Yeah, very
this
good on
is
b3.
Very strong.
yeah, and this pawn here, you know. So now he took on knight takes d4, and I didn't believe my eyes that I missed here. One move winning. It's very easy.
Very simple. H6.
8-6. Simple chess, come on.
And then what? Bishop e5.
It's simple. You just show it, but
Because h6 is not human move, right?
it is
Only D6.
pushing.
In general, dude.
If Dennis suggested that maybe.
When you play h5, you want to take and open up the file, right? And then
8-6 and d6, and so it's like one's there.
and then what? e6. Okay. Let's assume you play h6, right?
Okay,
Now I can go here. Just here. Yeah. Yeah, but it doesn't work. I don't say. I mean, I've scored. I saw this,
Queen
but
4?
I missed the next move.
Why not? Queen e4.
Yeah, I think there's a move. Yeah. Nice. And now I don't know what to do.
Tactical.
Nice.
Yeah.
Knight f3.
I mean, I have 3
Queen
and
g4.
Oh, better too.
yeah, he takes on g5.
And D6.
Oh, maybe d6.
No, D6
d6, d6, bishop e6. Do it. For me.
No, I just
Maybe
no, just this. I think it was.
Yeah.
I just take here.
Take on D6.
Yeah.
This and something like chess.
d6, what are you doing? Play d6.
Bishop D6.
No, sorry. I think it's h7. Maybe this.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, but instead of rook e8, f5. Game goes on.
Where?
h7, king h8. Takes on e7, f5.
Yeah.
That's why you just
Yeah,
take
take
now
on
bishop.
China
Take
then.
now bishop e7. Why not?
It might be
Instead
the
of
same,
h7,
right?
take bishop e7.
So if I have 5 then with
If I now
d6.
d6.
The king h7. But what if I just move the queen like to a random place, like queen e2 or something? I don't know, or queen e3 and then something. I don't know, whatever. Just queen, and then push the pawn, right? I mean,
Queen c4. Ooh.
oh, and h7 queen g8, right?
Yes.
At the very end.
Or Queen A4.
It seems inevitable.
Huh?
Queen A4.
Queen c4, that's it. Okay, this lost.
Anyway, it's probably just extra materials.
Yeah, here I should have played simple chess, you know. But unfortunately, I was too eager, and yeah, I just didn't find out. So I immediately took, because it also looked winning, right? The first side. I took my bishop, and I mean, yeah, it's incredible. There is no mate. I'm just better, no mate. So I took with the pawn.
It's annoying, I just did better.
Yeah. So he took. Incredible. So I took on e7. I don't know, I missed a couple of chances around here. I just don't remember how. So he played rook f3. I think I should still on soon. So he played queen d2. And again, I think I missed something. Very simple moves here. Which, I mean, with either rook, I could just play rook f1. And then d6 is my next move, and there is not really a defense. So I play bishop c5 and rook f8. Yeah, I missed this, of course. And now I'm still better, but it's looking annoying because I was pretty mad. There was no checkmate, right? And I thought I could have just checkmated him somehow. And now I play rook f1. It's horrible. I still should have played this, surprisingly. And if takes, then the very calm king g1. And there's no check because of my queen. And now if he moves the queen, I just take this rook. Now what? Now he has to take with the rook or something. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, it's just again, I played d6 next move, and it's probably game over. It was not a huge. It's not a huge tactic to see. What to do? What you could do? So I played rook f1 because I still believed in checkmate somewhere here. You know, sometimes I even envision a mate there. So I played rook f7. It was my advantage was already kind of gone. It was.
I go for a draw. Move 30, perfect
You
time.
believe in me.
Yeah, we reached move 30. Yeah, I mean I still have draw with queen e8 and bishop f8, queen e5. I didn't want to make a draw. I played d6 because I envisioned again this pawn would end up here and it's a mate eventually. And he played b6. Okay, but now this was a huge mistake. He could have played something like rook f5 with the idea of queen d5. And now I don't have this queen e8, bishop f8, queen e5 repetition anymore. Now I have to move the queen, bishop, and then queen d5, and I'm already like one pawn down, right? And then I'm the one who has to fight for the draw. And I think he still had like 10 minutes or something. But he played this b6, and I was like, okay, it's time to settle for this draw. Yeah, now it's forced. Bishop f8, because maybe if he plays rook f8, I play queen e6 or take something. And now queen e5. If rook g7, then queen e6. Like, okay, you can't escape. I need the draw. Excuse me?
Rook f6.
Where?
Pawn f6.
Now?
Where?
Okay, well there's checkmate there, so
What? Check
Bishop
bishop f6.
d4.
trust me.
Bishop d4.
Bishop d6.
Yeah, I don't.
Okay,
What?
queen
Rook-
e8.
Yeah,
Rook
queen
f6.
e8. Queen e8 and queen g6.
Rook f6 play. What's wrong with you?
With this one?
No.
But then bishop d4.
This.
And bishop d6.
Queen
Can you
e8,
check
queen
on
g6.
e8?
No, I thought no. Rook. The other rook.
Other rook.
Even I have this, queen d5 check maybe, no?
Yeah.
Might
And
be.
then some check. And eventually my checkmate. Maybe.
Can you do it with the other rook?
Oh.
Maybe even queen h2. Just for the point. Queen
Yeah,
h2.
now queen
Queen
No,
d5?
it's okay. King g1. Yeah, I don't know. I
And
believe
king
in check.
g4, right? Okay, but I can still maybe play there, right?
Bishop d6.
So then maybe here. I want to play rook h8.
No, play rook h8.
You know what's also nice? Queen
There-
e8 check.
Yeah.
Give a check on e8.
And queen d6.
No, Casper.
No.
Rook h8 check.
What?
Rook h8 check.
But this is protected.
No, rook
Rook is
h8, king
protected.
takes, queen g6. How are you gonna stop him?
Why not bishop f6?
Just for fun. Wait, let's
Yeah.
check.
So what if I go here?
Then bishop g6. Or rook f8.
Just
No,
for fun, as
it's
you would
not-
say.
Yeah, take it, and then queen g6.
So here.
Yeah,
So you think black is slaughtered here?
yeah. That's not it.
Bishop h2. Ooh, I love that idea. Ooh, I love that idea.
Actually, bishop h2 and g3 probably.
No, bishop f6.
Bishop 6.
Yeah, bishop
Ah,
f6.
Yeah, so maybe black is slaughtered, no?
Yeah. I thought maybe rook f. Oh, I can't move the rook. Ah, okay. Yeah. Very tricky. Very strong idea. Thank you for sharing with us. Awesome. Okay, so. Okay, so he played bishop f8, queen e5. He played bishop g7, and now I give a check on e8. He went here. I went here. He went here. I went here. And I offered a draw. Yeah, so this game was interesting mostly because of the opening, because it's a very it's a very interesting line, this b4 knight d5 idea. There haven't been any games even since that, after Topalov played and I played it, and now people are taking a break, but it's worth analyzing because there are not many games, so good luck guys playing this time. So thank you.